welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have issue 109 of Hachette's Build the Titanic. Today is April 14th, 2024, which marks the 112th anniversary from the night Titanic hit the iceberg. So 11:30 p.m. tonight-ish. 112 years ago was the night Titanic hit the iceberg, which is sad, but there's another reason why April 14th is relevant, and that is because friend of the channel, Owen Palmer, is 21 years old today. Here's Owen. Happy birthday, Owen. 21 is a big one. You got the key to the door. Have fun, mate. I hope you have a great day. Back to the ship. Without further ado, we're going to get this right. We'll get this one built. Now, this is the least we've ever had to do in a Titanic issue to date, which I don't think is that bad going. 108 issues in, we finally come to one that is very, very light on work. So even though we get a large piece in this one, we're not using it. What we are doing is something that we could have done 2 years ago. We've got some little plates that are going to cover over the screw holes in the side of the ship where those are exposed. So one side they're not, one side they are. We have some little plates in here. We're just going to plug those in. It's push to fits, that's it. So the actual build itself is not going to take long at all. It's all necessary, it all has to be done. But the plate we get in this one, we will be using in the next one. So we will be putting two of the plates together and attach them to the hull. The hull will be complete. Over the next 4, the hull's done. There's some little bits of trim and whatnot, but the body of the hull itself is complete within the next 4. And those will all be coming up today, so they'll be coming up very quickly, one after the other. But without further ado, let's get this one up and let's get this one built. At the end of this one, we'll be talking about something that gets asked a lot, and that's human remains on the Titanic. Why aren't there any? Well, there's no one answer to that question. There's lots of answers to that question, and we'll go through something at the end of this. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. But let's get this one open, let's get this one built. Okay, so this is what you get inside 109. Now, like I said, there's a big piece in here, but we're not using it. That is going to get used in 110. Right, so we have this piece here, and this envelope here. Now, I don't think there'll be any screws in this, because there's no reason for it to be, but there might be. If there are, we have to hold on to them. I don't think there will be, though. So there you go. That's our whole piece. But we're not using it. We're not putting this one in yet, so this is just put to the side for the remainder of this issue. In here, I believe there are 3 of them, 4 of them. We've got 4 little plates. That's it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hull over and we're going to slot those in, and they're going to cover up the unsightly gaps on the outside of the hull. Now, they are necessary because, again, I mean, it bothers me that the screw hole's showing, but there won't be any more. So let's get the hull over. Let's get these installed. Okay. So this is the hull. Here are our hull plates. Let's get these into order. So where we're going to go thin. No, we're not. We're going to go thin, fat, thin, fat. It's that easy. That's how we're going to do this. So these are just push to fit. So let me make sure there's no weird shaped lugs. They are numbered as well, so I mean, that's going to help. So let's get one in. Let's see how easy this does or doesn't go in. One. Now number 2. It's going to go into this section here. This is your last chance as well. If you want to give those screws a tighten, this is your last shot at that. It's number 2. And then number 3. It's going to slot into there. There we go. And now, finally, number 4. It's going to slot into there like so. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, is it. That's all we've got to do at this stage. Let's have a chat. That's it. Job done. So it's all necessary. Now, looking at the hull, that's it. So there are no more of those to go in. That's it. In my head, we had loads on the one side, but we don't. I think that's it for those, unless there's some at the bow, the stern that I don't know about, I think we're good. But we'll see. I mean, because we're doing those ones, there will be. I think so. Let me have a look. So I've got the piece here. Yeah, there's got to be. You can see there, which would suggest we're going to need some more of those. Yeah, okay, we'll find out. That's it. I mean, it's a quick one, and I know it's always, but it's stonework, hull work. Hull work is always light. We know that, but we're about to end it. We've got 3 more pieces of hull to do. There are some after this, though. I don't want people to go, hold on, no, there's trim to the hull. The actual hull itself is complete after the next 3. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Just stick around for the build instructions. I don't think you needed them for that, but thank you for stopping by. If you stick around for our Titanic talk, why are there no human remains found on the Titanic? And were there any human remains found on the Titanic? Well, the short answer is no. There's never been any human remains found on the Titanic, none. Which might seem weird, but there's a bunch of reasons why there's no human remains found on the Titanic. Now, one of them would have been life jackets. The life jackets did their job. So the bulk of bodies that went down with the Titanic were wearing life jackets. We do know that. Most people wearing life jackets. As a result of that, they are just going to float to the surface. It's that simple. Even if you're on the ship, if you're trapped under something, over time, the body would have worked its way out and it would have floated to the surface. And then, well, if they float to the surface, how come they didn't, because they're not going to stay there. They're not going to stay up above the Titanic. They're going to drift out to sea. So not everybody was found from the Titanic. A lot of bodies weren't salvaged. They're gone. That's the reality. They're gone. So what is found on the Titanic in large volumes? It's clothing and shoes. So the belief is that wherever there's a pair of shoes is where a body was, because there are a lot of shoes. If you move around the Titanic floor, if they visit any of the areas of the Titanic, they keep finding shoes. Now, it's not like somebody's just walking around throwing shoes around. It basically suggests that was someone's final resting place. So why are the shoes there and the body's not there? Well, it comes down to the carbonized compensation depth, which is a depth so low that solvation is equal to carbonation. So that means that it stays where it is. So above that, which is where we are, things don't dissolve as quickly as they heal, right? Whereas you go the other way around, things dissolve a lot faster. So when it comes to bones aren't going to just decay on the land. However, if you put them right to the depth of the ocean, once the skin and the flesh is stripped off them, they will dissolve very quickly at the depth the Titanic is at. So what would have happened is, over time, scavenger crustaceans and fish and whatnot would have eaten the bodies. That's what's happened. Once the skin and flesh is stripped from these, the bones are just going to gone. Titanic was sat at the bottom of the ocean for nearly 100 years before we rediscovered it. It was like 73 years it was sat at the bottom of the ocean before we found it. Even longer than that before anybody went down there. So it had already been sat with 75 years worth of decomposition before we even knew where it was. So you would have found bodies. If you'd have gone down like a week after it happened, you would have found bodies. But 100 years later, no, of course not. So that's why there are none. Now, it's not a case there aren't any, it's a case that none have been discovered, because there is a belief that in some areas of the Titanic there are sealed sections. One of those being the swimming pool in particular is sealed between very heavy doors. They've never been able to get in there because it's still sealed. There is a belief that the swimming pool is going to be in a good condition. I don't know why that belief, but a lot of people believe that of all the rooms of the Titanic, one of the ones that will be in a better condition. When I say that, I don't mean you're going to walk in, it's immaculate. I mean the decay and the rot and whatnot would probably have not been quite as severe, is the swimming pool, because they believe that it was shut off from all the erosion. Doesn't mean it's true. And it also doesn't mean they're going to be in there. But areas like that, pockets like that, there is a belief that if there's some trapped chamber, like where the engine rooms were, for instance, I mean, even though those are all destroyed, but it's plausible that remains could be found inside one of them, because it's not oxygen-rich air where scavenger animals would go. So there is a belief that there might be skeletal remains somewhere on the Titanic. Are we ever going to find those? Probably not. That said, another expedition to the Titanic is taking place, and we're going to talk all about that in the next one. Is it right? Is it wrong? How is it going ahead? What's happening? We're going to talk all about that in issue 110. Once more, big happy birthday to Owen. All the best, mate. I hope you had a great day. For the rest of you, in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps the channel massively. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you for more of Hachette's Build the Titanic very soon. Take care. See you then.